Hi, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be going through a kit list, gear loadout of what I would take on a lightweight multi-day backpacking trip. I've done plenty before, like the Tour de Mont Blanc, Coast to Coast, Dales Way, Cumbria Way. I've learnt from those of what works, what doesn't work. And for me, this is my new kit list for this year of what I'm going to be taking. I've got the West Highland Way I'm looking to do soon, as soon as my knee's up and running. So bearing that in mind, I thought I'd load it out and give you some ideas. The tent I'm going to be taking for this year is the Durston X-Dome. I'm going to put a link above to a full review of the tent that I did recently. But basically, this is the tent I'm going to be taking. Historically, I've used the Durston X-Mid one-piece solid, which has been great, which is a trekking pole tent, but this is freestanding. I prefer to use this time round. It's still lightweight, about a kilo, but yeah, this is what I'm going to be using. And to address the elephant in the room, if you did see my review, I've got a new inner. Thanks to Dan at Durston Gear, I reached out to him to explain I'd ripped my inner, my mesh inner. So I've paid for a new one. He sent it out super quick for me and I've swapped it out. So it's got the solid inner, so it's got the thicker floor. It's got full solid inner inside, which is great. More accustomed to UK weather, to be fair. And I've put that in. So this is what I'm going to be taking. My pegs I'm going to be taking for this one, I have a selection of pegs. So I have a little Dynie in my bag just to keep them organised. And I take a mixture of pegs because you don't know what the ground's going to be like. So I take 6 MSR Carbon Core 9-inch stakes, very lightweight and long, so they can be handy in, you know, some wetter ground, things like that. But you can't always get these in, again, if it's quite tough, the ground. I also take 4 DAC pegs. Again, these are lightweight, different shapes, different sort of grip in the ground. These are handy. And I also take 4, I think these are 3 FUL gear, ultralight titanium nails, 6-inch. They actually do these in a 9-inch as well. Quite expensive, but honest to God, these are the lightest pegs ever. And these can be great just for the sides or in tougher ground, you can really nail them in. So I've got a mixture of pegs, more than what I need, but you want to have more than not enough, and it just gives me some flexibility. I'm going to be packing this inside of my Atom Packs Pulse EP40. So you probably see on some of my hikes, I've used my Mo 50. I didn't need something quite as big for that. And I've also used my Atom 35 litre custom, which is a little bit smaller than what I need. And I wanted a frame. So this is my pack of choice for this one. Do love this pack. I'll leave a link above to where I go through all of the Atom Packs bags that I own and what I like about each of them for the full features. But this is what I'm going to be taking. It's got 2 massive side pockets. It's got front mesh. It's got your little pocket underneath, your little grab pocket for snacks, whatever you want to put in there, to be honest. Really easy to get to. And it's got 2 really good chest pockets. And again, in there, you can put your water bottles and things. At the end of the video, I will show you packing the bag out in full and what it's like on, so you can see how it all fits in. You're probably amazed at how much you can get in a bag and how much room you have. So I'll show you that at the end. I am an ambassador for Atom Packs now. All my reviews are unbiased and exactly what I think, but they asked me if I'd be happy to represent the company, and of course I would. I use all their packs. I have done for nearly 4 years now. So this is what I'm going to be using. Now, although they are water resistant, no pack's waterproof, so you do need a pack liner. If you buy a pack from Atom Packs, they do include a Nylaflume one, but you can just buy your own. You can use a compactor sack, you can use a bin bag, you can use whatever you want to use. But I prefer these to dry sacks. So what I've got, there's a company called Polybags, and I buy my bags from them. And I've got this massive, again, super lightweight plastic bag, basically a trash compactor sack. This will fill the inside of my bag. And inside that, I will throw in mainly my sleep system and my clothes to keep dry, roll it down, and then I've got a smaller one from the top for the rest of my electricals and bits and bobs. Just helps you keep organised. The benefit of having a super large one as well is if it is wet at night and you want to leave your bag not inside your inner but on your vestibule, you can take this out and you can put your whole pack inside of this and your shoes, roll it down, and your pack's going to stay dry. I'm obviously going to be taking my Roo, the 2.5 litre Roo, really versatile. And I would be lost without it because I need it for instant access to my gear. You know, it could be batteries, snacks, a buff, things like that. I also use my mobile phone. I'll slide that in the front and then I've got easy access to that as well. So that works really well for me. On the side of my pack, I'm going to be having my trekking poles. Could not do a long distance hike or a hike without them. You know, they're essential for me. I have a few different sets of poles, but these are the ones I'll be taking on this. And these are my Helvellyn Harry Running carbon poles. They're not the Pro version. And the difference is these lock into place and they are extendable. So you can put them up and down. And the reason I'm taking these on this one is because this tent has a feature where you can also use your trekking poles in the top here to strengthen the tent should you have really adverse weather. So they obviously needs to be adjustable to do that. So that's why I take these. Harry Running do make a Pro version of these, which I also do have, which are fixed height. So they're a little bit lighter, 120 centimeters I have, but they're instantly, you can flick them out. So if I knew that I couldn't use these for my tent, I would take the other ones. Sleep system quickly. I'm going to be taking a sleeping quilt now. It's that time of year. And this is my Enlightened Equipment Enigma. Super expensive. I'm not going to shy away from that. Very, very expensive. I bought this from a Tour de Mont Blanc last year, 300 and odd pound. Crazy just for a sleeping system. But this is what I'm going to be taking. Why did I pay all that money? It's warm. It's very, very lightweight and it packs very small. A lot of the time you're doing these hikes, it's not all about weight, it's about packability. And for me, I go for packability over weight. I don't mind carrying a little bit more if it packs smaller, so I've got more room in my bag. So bear that in mind. A cheaper alternative is like an ice flame quilt, like the yellow ones that they do online. I'll leave the links below. I've got one of those and I've used one of those previously on hikes, but obviously now I've upgraded to that. I'm going to be using that. Make sure you use a good sleep mat as well. It's no good having a good bag if you've got a crap sleeping mat because you're going to get cold. You need to insulate you from your floor. So I'm going to be taking this Kilos Gear Aero Cloud. I think it's an R value of 4 or 5, something like that. But I'm going to be taking that. Pack's very small and I don't need my Xtherm for this time of year. Benefits of this, it's massive. It's a big rectangular pad, 2.02 meters long, 10 centimeters thick, very wide. I think it's 60 centimeters wide. I love it, dead comfy to sleep on. So I'll be taking that. Pairing it with my pillow, massive pillow for a massive pad. A little bit of a luxury item, but I sleep really well with this. And this is my X-Bed Mega Pillow. By all means, take a smaller one, but once you've tried one of these, you can't look back. And the only other thing, it's not really sleep system, but I have a couple of Swedish cloths, different colours. I keep one always inside my tent, and that's for condensation at night. And then the other colour is for my body. So if I get an opportunity to wipe myself down, clean myself, I'll use one of these, very absorbent. Sleep system, of what I'm going to wear at night, I've got a couple of things. So I have a pair of tights. So obviously in the day, similar to what I'm wearing now, I'd probably wear a t-shirt, you know, a lightweight pair of shorts. These are just Decathlon Kiprun ones. And I like to have my legs out, but I take leggings. So leggings are good for in the day, for a little bit of extra warmth or to protect you as you're walking through grass, things like that. You don't want any ticks, but you can also sleep in these and you do need something on your legs or you're going to sweat on your bag. So I will take these. If I know the weather's going to be cold on a particular hike, I will also take my Rev Race waffle pants. Very warm. I've actually hiked in these sometimes as well if it's cold. So I may or may not take those, depending what I see the weather like when I'm going. And the other thing is a heat holders. Yeah, heat holders, long sleeved top. I sleep in that. It's long sleeved, very light. You don't sweat in it, but you can also use it as an underlayer. So if I knew it was going to be cold one morning, I can put it on under this with the sleeves down, roll them up later. Once it gets warmer, take it off, put it in your bag. For bed as well, I'll probably alternate a pair of socks. So I have a pair of socks here and I will be hiking in a pair of socks. So I basically have 2 pairs of socks and underneath those, nothing at night, but in the day, I would have a pair of these, and these are toe socks. AO Magic, or I've got Hilly ones as well, which are slightly better quality, and these are toe socks. So sometimes I just hike purely in these, or if you want to prevent blisters and things, it's advisable to put these underneath a proper pair. But you can just hike in these as well. Splay your toes, you're not going to get rubs. Really, really comfy, lightweight, small. Yeah, so I'll probably take a couple of pairs of these. And depending on the shoes I take, I've got a pair of waterproof socks. I was never a fan of waterproofs. I didn't like sealskins. Nothing against the brand, but I found that they did fit like a wetsuit, you know, flapping round, your feet inside. They weren't comfy. A couple of years ago at the Outdoor Expo, I met a company called Otter, a family company, and they sell it on Amazon. And I tried out a pair of their socks and they were brilliant. They fit really well, they were comfy. They feel more like socks, but they're waterproof. So I picked up these from Amazon for my Tour de Mont Blanc and they were brilliant. Funky colours, low, something to pull them on at the back, but obviously they do them all different lengths, and these are completely waterproof. So if I knew I was going through wet ground, depending on my shoes, let me go to my shoes quickly. These are my Ultra Timp 5 Gore-Tex. So again, if I know the weather's going to be a little bit wet, I will either just wear these with my socks, and these are, you know, very comfy, wide base, zero drop, which helps for your knees. The Timps are a medium stack height, your Lone Peaks are thinner, and your Olympus are thicker, so depending what you need. I find the Lone Peak not enough cushioning underneath, so no good for me, but these are perfect. I've got about 6 pairs of these, of Timp 5s, and I use them loads of times, but these Gore-Tex are waterproof, so if it was going to be wet, I would take these. If I knew it was going to be dry like this, and maybe occasional rain, I would take my waterproof socks, and I would take my other Timps. Still Timp 5s, not Gore-Tex. So if you walk through wet ground, you're going to get wet feet, but they dry quick, and the funky colours. So depending on the hike, I will take one of those pairs and maybe the socks. So let's talk about if it rains. I've got a pair of waterproof pants, Decathlon, Everdict, cheap. I've used these loads. If it's very heavy, they will wet out, but they're very lightweight. If it's cold in the morning, you could throw them on over your shorts, but handy if it's going to tonk it down, you want a little bit of protection. And then just a waterproof coat. Take whatever you like. I'd probably like to take my orange one. However, I've ripped it at the moment. I've ripped the sleeve. So if that's not going to be repaired in time, if I can't repair it, I'll probably take this one, which is my mountain equipment Garwool jacket. Fits lovely, feels nice, but it's not orange. So yeah, I'll take that. Generally, if it's not raining when I'm walking around, you know, if I need a little bit of warmth, I've got my Century Designs. Everyone asks about this. The Alpha 60, love these. Polartec, very lightweight, airy, but they do add a bit of warmth, or they could even be cool as well. I mean, I suppose you could wear this on its own, but yeah, I need a t-shirt underneath. I'm not wearing that on its own. Very difficult to buy online. They're on overseas, they're never in stock, but I believe there are some alternatives from Decathlon and places, and the OM as well. I have got one of those, the OM Cores, I think, OM Core Plus, but something like that, if you use that as a bit of an idea, are great, because they're lightweight and they add that little bit of warmth. And the only other thing I really recommend is a wind jacket. My normal choice is this one. I wore it on my Tour de Mont Blanc and it was great. I think it's the Aero or something along those lines. Super thin and lightweight. So even if it was hot like this, you could probably wear it to stop the sun. But certainly if it's windy, even if you've got a t-shirt underneath, having a very lightweight wind jacket keeps you cool, because it stops you from getting cold, sorry, because it keeps that wind off you. And last but not least, puffy jacket. Is it needed? Maybe not. I always take one. It's nice if you stop and you want to chill out in the day and it gets a little bit cold to throw on. Good for at night, or again, if it was really cold at night, you could add it with this for some extra warmth. I wear this one all the time. This is my smallest packable one, and this is the Rab Mythic Light Puffy Jacket, whatever it's called. Right, where are we up to now? I might as well go through my camera because it's in front of me. I use a variety of cameras on the channel. The one I'll be taking on my long distance hikes is the Action 5 Pro with a little wind buff on it. The reason I take this, the battery life is amazing. It's the best of all the action cameras. It's small, it's really good quality, so that's what I use. And it also pairs well with my microphone. I'm obviously using a mic today, but I've got my other one which I can show you in my other part of my kit. Now, you could just use your phone, but for me, I want to save the battery on my phone. So I always, you know, if I want to film it, I'm going to take an action camera. So you could take something like this, maybe a GoPro, but the battery lives aren't very good on those. Or even the Ace Pro 2. I've been using one of those recently after they sent it me. I've used it for a few hikes. It's fantastic. But this one's just a little bit smaller, better battery life, so I'll use this one for this hike. And I've got a new stand for this. This actually came with my Ace Pro 2. And it's brilliant. So it's like a selfie stick. So you can hold it arm's length and you're going to get good audio. Or it folds out, so you can go a little bit longer. Or it folds out again. You know, you can get it away from you. Or, you know, a benefit is you can hold it where you can't see your stick so much in the shot. So that works really well. And the benefit with this one is it folds out on the bottom. So you've got a little bit of a stand. Handy for filming yourself or for walk-bys, things like that. A little bit heavier than a traditional selfie stick, but works really well. And as you'll see later when I show you packed and with a bag on my back, that just hooks under my strap and stays on my chest. Really good. Only taking one camera, that's all I need. So I've obviously showed you my Roo. In my Roo, I would have this little bag. It's a little Dyneema bag. And within there, DJI Mic 2. I do have the Mic Minis as well. They're a little bit smaller and lighter and far better battery life. So I will have a little think, but it'll be either this or my DJI Mic Minis. I often just record with this, but this is sometimes handy in extra wind just to get that, you know, crisp audio. And in there, batteries from my camera. On a normal hike, even a wild camp, I'll just take one spare. But on a long distance hike, I will take 3 extra batteries. I've got loads of these batteries, but one in the camera and 3 here is, well, it's more than I would need. And then I've got my little electricals bag in a little Dyneema bag. I have my Nightcore NU10000 or NB10000 power bank, super lightweight, carbon. I have a couple of these, so I might either take 2 of these, which is 20,000 milliamp. The benefit of both is you can charge one, you know, if you're at a cafe while still using one. Or, I've not got it with me, I have a Ugreen 20,000 milliamp if I want a little bit more power in one power bank and then maybe accompany it with one of these. I have a few wires in there, lightning cable for my phone. I have a USB-C cable. I also have this little adapter. It goes on the USB-C cable and that charges my watch. The only other thing in my electricals is a pump. HAOMC recently sent me out their atomic pump. You'll have seen it on my channel. Absolutely love them. I've still got a couple to give away, so I will organise that very soon, but I've got 2 of these to give away as well, completely free. I'll do some kind of raffle, some draw where you can win it. But these are lighter than the Flextail Tiny Pump 2. They're smaller. These put out 400 millilitres of air or whatever it is. Flextail put out 180. This puts out 400, and this has stronger pressure as well. I think it's 5 versus 4, and it's still got your light on it, 3 levels of brightness, and you can hang that in your tent. So that'll be my camp light at night. I'll charge it once, it'll last the whole trip. But if I do need to charge it, it's USB-C. Oh, in fact, I do have one other little thing as well. I've got a 67 watt small charger. I will take this as well. That'll go in there. And then if I get to stop at any shops, cafes, wherever you are, you can just charge everything. And this will fast charge. It's got 2 USB-Cs and a USB-A on there. And I've also got this little adapter, which I've started using recently. And it's the Ulanzi FT01. And it's just a holder for your phone. Clamp it on. And then I can attach that to my tripod if I want to do some night shots or some photography, things like that. And again, you could film on your phone, but I just have that just in case I want to use it. So that will go in my Roo, by the way. Another couple of things, not really electricals, but gadgets, if you like. I have a little knife, super small. I got this one on AliExpress for under £3. Very, very sharp and tiny. Just handy, maybe if you want to cut a blister, if you want to cut some paracord, repair something, cut some food. That's really good. And in the Roo, you have a little clip on the inside for your keys, but I clip that on there and that stays in my bag all the time just in case I need it. And the other thing that clips on there is I have this little extra torch. I think it's the Rovivon A5. It's the old version, so it's micro USB. I'd rather have USB-C. But this is a very, very bright light, loads of different settings. It flashes, it lights up in the dark. Really versatile and just handy if you want to show, you know, find something at night or whatever it may be without using your head torch. A feature of this, I obviously always wear my cap backwards, but it has a little clip on it. You can clip it onto your cap as well and just use it as a head torch. Again, super bright, but it's versatile and it doesn't weigh anything. So that will go in my Roo on that same clip as well and in there. And the only other thing I'd probably have in there is some Sudafed. I need it. I get stuffed up all the time. Some sunglasses, cheap, Temu, £2. Might as well put them on now so I can see. Maybe some electrolytes, pack of electrolytes, 10, that'll probably do me. And I will use those all through the day. I'll show you my water next, but always drop an electrolyte in there just to keep yourself hydrated. And then I'll probably have a selection of energy gels as well. I'll probably take 4 or 5, and then just in case, I always say bonking, just in case I'm feeling cramp, have one of these. This is Sports in Science, tropical, gorgeous these. Neck one of these, and that just gives you instant electrolytes in your body to stop cramp. So I've got 2 pockets on my atom packs, so I will carry 2 waters. One of them will be my Katadyn B3. Highly recommend one of these. If you've never used a filter, you should always take one with you. If you need to get water, which inevitably you'll need to do if you can't find a shop or something, and it's got a wide mouth. You can just scoop up your water in there, put that on and drink straight from it. It's 1 litre. This is the tactical bag, which is black. It's a little bit thicker material, so a little bit more durable. But yeah, you can carry your water maybe in there, but I tend to carry this empty. I just use it as a way of filling up water. And then I would put that into some kind of bottle. This is a 500 ml. That'll have water and electrolytes in it. And then if I run out, I'll either buy some water and top it up, or I'll use this to top this up. When I'm getting to camp and I want more water, I have one of these. And this is a Hydro Pack. You'll have seen this in some of my winter camping videos, strapped to the top of my pack. But it's basically a collapsible water bottle. It's 2 litres. It's got markers on it as well. It's got a handle, and it's got a wide mouth as well. The benefit of that is the Decathlon B3 filter fits straight in it. So you can just fill this up with water, put that filter on and filter it out. Or if you had particularly bad water, you could fill up your Decathlon B3, filter it into there, and when it's full, you can put your Decathlon B3 on there and filter it out again into your pot. So really versatile, small, lightweight. They do them in different sizes. Alternative, if you want to save some money, I mean, just take a 2 litre smart water bottle or a Volvic bottle, something like that, but it's just a little bit bulkier on the side of your pack. I'll very quickly go on to my hygiene kit. Again, a little Dyneema bag, different colour, so I know what it is. I have a little deodorant. It doesn't weigh anything, so, you know, I might as well smell a little bit fresh every day. I'll have some kind of wash and go soap. Some companies make some where you can wash your hair, you can clean yourself. I'll take one of those, but that's just handy to keep yourself clean on the go. Toothpaste, toothbrush, cut down, not to save weight, just so it's nice and small in your bag. In another little Dyneema bag, which keeps things dry, I have those, you know, the little cloths that expand. They weigh next to nothing. You put them a little bit of water on them, a tiny bit of water, and they open up to a really big cloth. So great for cleaning your face, cleaning a wound. Maybe if you've got your pot a little bit dirty or your coffee pot, you can clean it with that. That's what I tend to do. So I always take them, every height regardless, but cheap, lightweight thing to take with you. Some tissues, a little pack of tissues, some biodegradable wipes from a poop kit, which will go separate in my bag, and a little trowel as well. I've got some gaffer tape round it, which I suppose you could reuse, but I use that on there for grip. Just to go for a little bit of how you would use this, you know, if you did need to go, you can't get to a toilet, you're out in the middle of nowhere, get away from water, make sure you're not near any paths, find somewhere discreet, dig yourself a good sized hole, lift it out and go in the hole. Once you've gone, fill it back in. Do not put any wipes or any tissue in the hole. Take it with you. So the one thing I'm missing out this pack, which I need to buy, and what I recommend, is our nappy sacks. Or you can get dog poo bags if you've got a dog, but nappy sacks. Very lightweight little bags. Take a load of those with you. They're handy for your rubbish. Tie it in, they're not going to smell. But also if you go to the toilet and you have to wipe yourself, obviously a bit of tissue, a bit of a, you know, sanitize yourself with one of these, put it in your poop bag or your nappy sack, tie it off, leave it in your bag, and when you get to a bin, get rid of it. That's what you need to do. Don't be dumping tissue and stuff floating around in the mountains. Keep it clean. There's actually one more thing that I have in this pack as well, and this will be new and specific for the West Highland Way, but I may use it on other camps. So I've got myself a little, I suppose it looks like a little aluminium stove. In one of these, I've got this aluminium foil, but in here, I've got some of the little citronella candles. I mean, the idea with these is help with midges. So what I've done, I've got them stuffed into here. So I will take that with me, and should I have a problem with midges, I've got a little foil container with all of my things in that I can keep to the side, and I can chuck one of the candles in that tin so it's not going to melt anything, light it, and it'll just give off a nice scent, and it should get rid of the midges. Maybe I might take a little bit of smidge as well, or I might regret it. Then we've got the first aid kit. It's personal what you want to take. If you're interested in what I take in mine, I just have a few little things to hand. So I've got some Compeed, I've got some plasters, I've got some antiseptic whites, I've got a little bit of, I can't remember the name of this, a little bit of tape anyway, so you can pull that off there, cut it off, and you know, you can put it on blisters, cuts, things like that. I've got a little tick remover in there, and I've got a little Swiss Army knife. So on here, the biggest thing it has in here, it has a little knife, but obviously you saw I've got a knife anyway. But what I use on here are the scissors. Really handy to have. You need to cut something, if you need to cut a bit of tape down, if you need to cut you know, one of your Compeeds down. And the other thing I have in there is gear aid as well. So these are just little clear strips, and to repair things, you know, it could be as simple as your puffy jacket, you catch it on something, so you just cut one of these, stick it on. Maybe rip your tent, you can patch your tent with it, you can patch your inner. If you saw my last video with my inner, I'd need a lot more than that to patch that repair, but you should always take these, or your sleep mat, for example. You know, if you put a hole in your sleep mat, you're going to be stuffed, so you can find the hole and repair it with a little bit of that. So always take that. That should be part of your main first aid kit, and I have got some in here. This just comes on every hike, winter camp, whatever it may be. I just take this, and that's all. That does it. That does me perfectly. So if I'm going to take my own dehydrated food, I have this little Dyneema bag, again lightweight, and inside of there I've got a Totes ultralight 550 pot. Very lightweight. It's got some custom orange silicone on the handle so you don't burn yourself. Obviously that folds away. And I've replaced the lid with my one for my thermostat. I've shown this in loads of videos. It fits loads of different pots, but if you can get hold of one of these lids, really recommend it. It's got a strainer on it, it's got a way to drink out of it and a raised lip, and it fits bang on these pots. Look, it's not going to come off, and you can drink out of that as well. So this is usually my cup, and I can drink straight from that with my handles. But I do also occasionally take my little Sea to Summit collapsible cup. Your coffees go really cold in these, so I don't always take it, but I thought I'd show it because a lot of people like to use these. But you could take one of those, some kind of pot. So I've got a gas canister in there. I've normally got it in a little Dyneema bag, but for some reason it's not in there today. But you want to put a bit of tissue or something like that in there so it doesn't mould your pot. But these little Dyneema bags you can get off eBay, they fit in there perfectly, slide in your pot, doesn't rattle around. You're not going to get any rust. My stove of choice will be between one of two. Either my BRS 3000, if I know I want to be making some drinks, not at night, so out in the day, chilling, having a brew, and it's going to be windy, then I would think about it in advance and I might take my Soto Amicus. It's like a mini Windmaster. It's got a raised size to stop the wind. But yeah, this is normally my stove of choice for camps. I like to take this one, but on an ultralight or a lightweight multi-day backpacking, I'll either take this or my BRS 3000, and they're super cheap. I'll take a couple of spoons, small one for my coffee, big one for my dehydrated meal. I've got it in a little pack here at the moment. I have a Dyneema one as well, but this can help you keep organised in your bag. But I'd normally, if I was going to be cooking dehydrated meals, I'll chuck a couple of dehydrated meals in there. Or here's another example. That's an Adventure Foods, taken out of its pack and put in a little Ziploc bag to save a little bit of space. I have my Soto lighter, I'll always take that. A couple of coffees, some Sporting Science or some kind of gel for at night for recovery. And that's about it. You know, if you look at all that bulk there, you can get rid of all that by thinking, I'm not even going to take a stove. I'll just sack this off, sack all that off there, all that space in my bag. We'll get rid of it and just buy food as you go. Get a Tesco meal deal, get a sandwich in a shop, get some snack bars, whatever it may be, that sort of thing. Now I should show quickly underneath my pack, I have got a couple of little things stuffed in here, but I will show you when I pack it properly. A hat to keep warm, and again, because I'm in a quilt, it helps at night. You should put it on your head so your head's not going to get cold. If it was going to be wet, I've got some waterproof over mitts because my gloves aren't waterproof. And these are just 4-class cheap mitts. I think they're about £14 and you can really cinch them down, but they're great. They're not fully waterproof. They have wet out on me a few times, but I'd rather have them than not have them. Buff, I think I mentioned before, that normally resides in there. You all know I've struggled with my knee recently, so I've got a bit of a knee strap. Whether I take this one or another one, you know, I think that's going to be essential for me. I'll probably see if I can get hold of another one and take 2, just in case, you know, I'm struggling. I really, you know, I need to look after myself. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Obviously, I take my phone. I've got an iPhone 14 Pro. That's handy for your pictures, for your navigation, because obviously I download my routes on here. And my phone's on airplane all day. You know, I might just refer to the map every now and then if I need to, but my phone's saving battery all day just for photo and video. And then my full map is on my watch. I started off with a 6X Pro 5 years ago. Brilliant. I've used it for all my day hikes, my winter camps, but all my long distance hikes. So coast to coast over 10 days, Cumbria Way I did over 3 days, the Dales Way over 4 days, my Tour de Mont Blanc over 5 days. Always used these watches. 6X Pro was fantastic, never let me down once. I then had an option to upgrade to the 7X Pro Solar Sapphire. There's some bugs affecting the 7X at the time I had it. And unfortunately, that did let me down quite a lot. So they upgraded me to the Phoenix 8 Solar. It's got a different operating system, which for me was better because I knew it wouldn't have the same faults. But really, all of the watches do the same thing for me. I can see the map on my screen all day. I can zoom in, zoom out. It creates a track of where I'm going. It records me as well. I can see all the route. And at the end of the day, once I stop for camp, I just stop it. That syncs with Garmin Connect. Once it's done that, it uploads it to Strava, which you all get to see. And then the next day, I just load the same route and click go. And obviously it picks up where you are now and you just carry on. But I tend to find that I could use this all day for a hike, maybe 8-10 hours, and I'll lose about 20% battery, which I think is really good. So this will last me a few days, 3-4 days. And as you saw before, I have that little connector. So should I maybe charge it once on a hike, that's it. But other than that, it's going to do me. And yeah, that's it. And I think, I can't remember if I said what I was wearing, but you know, some cheap shorts, Outdoor Research Swift cap. Really, really like these. They're airy, so you're not going to sweat under it. You know I love a cap. I just shove my cap on and it's just, you know, you don't have to think about it. So yeah, the next thing I'll do, I'm just going to take this tent down off camera and I'm going to put everything in front of me and I'm going to show you how I pack my bag with all this stuff, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's on. Right, I've just moved back a little bit out the sun and now I'm going to show you putting this away. I am going to put my sunglasses on because the sun is beaming right into my eyes. So I'll quickly show you how I do it. So I've obviously got my pack now and I've rolled it down a little bit just to make life a little bit easier. And then we've got the big pack liner. So we'll throw that in first. And what I like to do is roll it over the top. Like so. So you want to throw everything in the back that you want to keep completely dry, and ideally the order that you want to use it. So what I'm going to put in the bottom is my sleep mat, because that'll form a nice base, and my pillow. So again, sleep mat, not rolled, I folded it so it takes up less space. And I've got my pillow covered in grass, and we'll shove that in the bottom. On top of that, I'm going to put some of the rest of my sleep kit. We've got that long sleeved top that I mentioned. I've got some boxers, a spare pair of toe socks, spare pair of other socks or night socks. We've got my Rev Race pants. But as I say, I might mix those up. And then I've got a spare t-shirt and my booties just in case I need them. So all those are thrown in the bottom. Now I do have my leggings, but I'm going to put them into the top section just in case I want those in the day. Next, sleeping bag. So stuff that in, don't put it in a stuff sack, it just takes up more space. Just get that, jam it in your pack, in all the little nooks and crannies, foot end first, so you get all the air out. And just give that a real good push down. Now again, I told you packability is important for me. If you've got a big, thick sleeping bag, that's going to take up a lot of your pack, but with this, it's going to go really small. Last but not least, I'm going to put my puffy in. If you feel like you might want that later on in the hike, put that higher up in your bag. But for me, I'm just going to put it in the bottom because I probably won't use this till night. Again, get it in every little bit of nook and cranny. And then what you want to do is get the bag, push out all the air, give it a twist and shut it. Again, get rid of all the air, take your time on this, get the most out you can. Give it a little twist, fold the bag down, and there we have it. A lovely flat layer. I'm ready to build up from there. So I mentioned I've got another stuff sack to get things keep clean and dry. We'll put that in. Same preference, fold that over the top, just so you can see what you're working with. I'm going to put my electricals and my hygiene kit in there first. This is heavier because it has batteries in, so just make sure you don't put that against your back. Move that to, you know, the middle of your packs. This is going to go right in the middle, and this one can go towards my back because it's light, it's soft, it's not going to dig in. Next, I'm going to throw my leggings in on this layer. I've got my stove, so again, getting every nook and cranny, but that's going to go more towards one side. Senchi designs, that can go in. And already that is looking good on there. And now food. So this is why I like to take this sometimes, or something of this shape, because it just, you know, it just fits lovely on top. It's at this stage you want to see, is there anything else you want to shove in there? You know, you've got waterproof socks. If I knew it might rain in the day, I might put these in the front of my front pouch. I mean, I'll just throw them in this bit for now because, you know, I'd know that at the start of the hike generally. So I'll put them in there. Now, I'd put one more thing in the top of this, and that's some kind of top. So I think I mentioned I've got a windproof layer, and I've got a waterproof coat, and I've got my waterproof pants. The pants are going to go in the front. Sometimes, if it's going to be rainy through the day, I will leave this in the front compartment for easy access. And then I would put this wind jacket in my pack. If I know it's going to be a nice day, I do the opposite. So let's go off a nice day because it's nice today. So I'm thinking I'm probably not going to use my coat. I can get access to it quickly anyway, but that's going to go in the top as well. And we'll leave the wind jacket easy access. So push that all out again, get all the air out, give it a twist, fold it over. And again, you'll see, perfect on top. Now we can unfold this bag now, roll up the layers, and you can see we've still got loads of room in there. And the only thing I'm going to be putting in there is my tent. So that is that whole tent there. I've got this in a Lanshan 2 Pro bag. Get these anywhere, but again, I'll put a link to AliExpress because they're cheap. I think I mentioned in my last video, they were like 7 quid, 8 quid. I noticed they were on offer the other day for £3.50. But I have loads of these, and it's really good for, you can even get some quilts and things in there, but that is my tent, all in there, cinched down, and just sits on top, because that's the thing you're going to want, you know, access to the quickest. I will just throw my water in there as well, because we probably won't fill that up till night, but we want access to that quite quick. So I'll just throw that in there, and then we'll button it shut at the top and roll it down. Push all the air out, and we'll roll it down. And this pack clips together at the top. That is everything in the pack that's going to be in the pack. So in the side, I'm going to put the poles. Put that under the bungee. We'll put these in as well, make sure they're both facing the right way. So I have spikes up when I put them in. Bang them in the side pockets. I'll show you the front first. So I think I mentioned Catadin B3 on one side, water with electrolytes in the other. There you go. Right, then I've got my stakes. Sometimes I put them in the side pouches, but I've started to put them in the netting just in case I don't want to lose them. So they can be pushed right down into that side netting. Waterproof pants, they can go in as well. Just lost my mat. Poop kit, that can go in there as well because we want access to that quickly. First aid kit. If you've got a side pocket on your bag, it's good to put in there, but that, again, I'll just shove easy access at the front, but shove it to the bottom. So we've got that, and we've got the wind jacket. Let's just shove it in that front pocket. I've got my little cloths to clean myself. And again, I might want that in the day or for my tent. They can go in the back as well. Underneath the pack. In fact, what we'll do this while it's on. So I'll put the pack on. What's dangling down here? Oh, my roo. My roo's got attached. Sorry about that, it got hooked onto my to the trekking poles. Leave that down there for now. Right, so we've got my gloves. So if I reach under there, I can feel a hole, just shove them in. You can put snacks under here, food, whatever you want. I've got my waterproof gloves, we'll chuck them in there. And sometimes it's nice for your hat as well. And that can just shove underneath that pocket. As you see, it's sealed, it's stretchy, they're not gonna come out. So I've got everything on there I need. Now, one thing I didn't put on there actually was a little sit mat. Depending on your room, again, sometimes I might take a big bottle and put it in the side of here, but I've got all this space here. I could put it there, or on this pack, it has a single strap over the top, so we'll put it on there just for the sake of showing you that strap. Cinch it tight, bang that back on. Perfect. Got a chest strap, we'll click that on. Loads of adjustability if you want to pull it here or here. I'll just leave it as it is for now. So we've got that on there. Access to drinks, access to things in the side. You know, you can reach your side pockets if you want to get anything in there. I want to get my poles out. I've got my roo with all those little bits before. Loads of spare room on that. I mean, I've got loads. So I like to take some banana chips with M&Ms in a little Ziploc bag. If you don't want it on show, you can cover it or you can have it tucked in. I like it accessible, because on a hike, when I'm in there, I want to take pictures on my phone, bang my phone in there. I used to put my phone in here, but now I want to double carry water. It's just perfect in here, so you're walking around, no messing. There you go, that's it from the side, from the back, and there it is. I'll have to put all the weights and things in the description below. Maybe I've added them on the video as we go. I'll have to weigh them, I don't know what it weighs. I know I've got some good lightweight kit. It feels comfortable, I've got everything I need. And last but not least, as a YouTuber, I'm vlogging. So I've got that on there. And again, quickly banged it on the side. You know, I could chuck it in the side pocket, but I'll end up losing it. Key things to take away, it's just an idea of what sort of kit I take. Maybe you can see some little things you think, oh, I could save a little bit of weight there. I could maybe try that Kris has tried. Don't focus on brand, cost. I've been doing this a long time. I've upgraded, I've used things that didn't work and spent more money, but there's all budget options below. So I'll put mine, and where I see a budget option, I'll put it below as well, just to give you some ideas. But that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed the video, and soon you'll get to see me out in this on the next trail, which is probably going to be the West Island Way when the knee's recovered. See you on the next one. Peace.